Hello, Katie. I'm very proud to be playing the part of Jackie Clayton
Yes,
today.
yes. Robin is playing Jackie Clayton in this episode of the Inclusive AF podcast, live from the HR Executive Studio at HR Tech. And we are joined by two wonderful guests here, Mark and Caitlin from CoAdvantage. So, Caitlin, would love for you to introduce yourself, share a little bit about who you are, all that good stuff, and then we'll turn it over to Mark as well to do the same.
Great, yeah, so excited to be here with both of you. My name is Caitlin Carrigy, and I'm the head of strategy at CoAdvantage, and we are a professional employer organization, and we've recently merged with PrimePay, which is an HR services, HCM company, and this year we're actually sponsoring PitchFest at HR Tech, so we've been really excited to see some of the innovative talent and up-and-coming companies in the space.
Awesome. Yeah, PitchFest is one of my favorite parts. I think Robin, you would probably say the same, that PitchFest is one of your favorite parts of HR Tech. We get to see some really cool new things come out. So awesome. Love that you guys are sponsoring that. And Mark?
Yes. So I'm Mark Zimmerman. I am the CIO for CoAd and for PrimePay together. Responsible for all the technology that we deliver to our clients on both sides of the brands right now. And like Caitlin, happy to be here and joining you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So would love to just kick it off. So how does your tech, talking about the technology that you are sharing this week, how does that address bias in hiring and performance and promotions? What does your technology do?
So we're not showcasing our technology here at the show today. Excuse me. We are here sponsoring PitchFest and not directly selling to folks that are here at the show.
Okay, so the PEO piece of the work that you do, are you showcasing that at all to folks that are here this week?
No, not specifically, no.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right then. Okay, well here we go. We're going to shift a little bit then. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So tell us though a little bit about the technology and kind of what you guys do and a little bit about what you offer and who you offer it to.
Sure. So we mainly serve small to medium-sized businesses. In the PEO world, those clients get services from us for things like healthcare, workers' comp, payroll, and other types of ancillary benefits as well. We also provide 401k services under kind of a master plan. So we aggregate all of the client information into kind of these pools. They become a co-employed client with us, so we are the employer of record with the client. So the employees will get a W-2 from CoAdvantage on the PEO side, and we provide kind of these services in a bundled fashion for those clients that they wouldn't be able to get without having to go to multiple different sources to handle all those things for them. So we are their back office, inclusive of managing all their payroll as well.
Yeah, and I would just add that in addition to the technology, a large portion of our services are also HR services. So we really pair that advisory service and that qualitative perspective and strategy with the technology itself to kind of give them that dual-sided approach to managing their workforce.
That's great. And when you think about kind of the technology and how it supports the employee experience, are there things that you look at for kind of that ROI that you get for the employees or for the employee experience versus just cost savings or versus flexibility, whatever it might be? What are the things that you look at from that employee experience perspective?
So from the employee experience, we've just recently rolled out a fully functional mobile app for our employees. So pretty much everything that they can do if they were in a browser, they can now do on the mobile app. So making it very easy to access their information, change their information, look up what they were paid last pay period, kind of look at their kind of aggregate total compensation for them and all the things the employer provides to them as well as the things that they've earned. So we make it really easy for that employee from an experience perspective for them to get access to their information.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what inspired you to be the sponsor for PitchFest?
Yeah, so we consider our purpose really making small businesses successful. And so this opportunity to sponsor PitchFest was really appealing to us because a lot of the sponsorship dollars actually go directly to that prize, which is infusing capital into those startups. And we're also excited by innovation in our space in this industry. And so we wanted to get kind of a front row view of that and kind of be able to support the next up and coming company. I think we've been very interested by sort of, I would say, the congestion around AI and what we've seen so far, right? Everyone seems to be leveraging AI, but not quite sure how they're going to differentiate yet. So that's also been interesting to us to kind of see what people are bringing to the table from a unique point of view on that. And I think to some of your question at the beginning, we've been interested to see how they're using it, I would say, to improve the way that we hire, to make it a more inclusive workforce, right? To try to remove bias where we can, to try to really assess talent on its face. So that's been, I think, inspiring, and we're excited to see it.
Yeah, those are the most interesting presentations at Pitch Fest.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yep.
So, is there a fan favorite, and you being the fans in this scenario, is there a fan favorite up front right now? Because we're through 2 rounds, I think it is at this point.
Two rounds.
Yeah. So, has there been anything that stood out for you in terms of any of the tech that you've seen so far?
There were a couple that stood out to me. So not to be biased because it was my round, but I did like Hollow, which was one of the winners of round 1, because they're really focused on language skills assessment and supporting BPOs in terms of staffing like call centers and things like that, which I think is a unique value proposition. And there was another in round 1 that I did find interesting. I believe it was BlueGen that really was building AI on top of more like semantic language and sort of behavioral syntax. I think we were joking, like, it's a fascinating prospect. I think it was harder to understand in a 3-minute pitch. So it was like, maybe wasn't as sizzly at front face value, but I think that is where you see some of that differentiation is what are you really building that isn't publicly available? How are you using it to give that perspective that is unique, that is going to help solve some of those true business problems?
Yeah, there was one today. I don't remember the name, and maybe you will when I describe it. For me, it was almost it was removing every identifying component about the person, their name, where they live, even some of their background that would be in LinkedIn, and kind of sanitizing those components to me, it felt like, well, like the voice for hiring, right? So the voice, they turn around, they don't see the person, but they are listening to the voice, and then they hit the button and turn around and go, that's the voice I want to pay attention to. So similarly, they had technology that kind of did that, and it was a job board where the employee or the job seeker would put their information in, and then it would clear it all out, and then the employer, when they were going to do their sourcing, would see it and pick just based on those attributes that were most important to them, and then after that, they went to the next round. So I thought that was very unique.
Awesome.
I think there was one more too that was really focused more on the performance management side. So it stood out just because I don't think we saw as much in that category, but it was also trying to use AI for good in the sense of almost advocating for that employee. And Mark and I were joking, like sometimes when you do performance reviews on an annual basis, it's difficult to stretch back 9 months and go, oh, that was a really impactful thing that they worked on. But using AI to kind of aggregate that to say, let's advocate for the employee as well and really recognize them for their full contribution was kind of an interesting way to approach it.
Awesome. Robin, what have you seen this week so far that you've been excited about, whether at the Pitch Fest or outside as you've been walking around?
To go back to a point that was raised earlier, and I think this is why I love talking to y'all as our guests, I've had a lot more conversations this year and seen a lot more products positioning themselves to SMBs. And for years and years and years, I've stood on the soapbox personally of it's like the forgotten, tech
team,
buyer and the forgotten HR, audience. And not that, they always weren't involved, but this year I have heard that raised by more people who either those emerging technologies or those folks in the startup pavilion, the ones at Pitch Fest, who have come out and said, we are not ashamed, right? To go to bring this to this audience because that's a need. There's a need and there's pain. And so how can we solve for that? And so I think that has been refreshing to me. That's kind of been my theme, and it's made me very happy.
I think that's an interesting observation, and I think it kind of goes back to, we were joking about the congestion of the use of AI, but I actually think that's democratized why you might
Yes.
find it appealing to go after an
Agreed.
SMB audience. So I think that is a nice benefit
Yes.
to that technology.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that there are so many neat technologies out there, and some of them, we were talking about, okay, some of them you see and you're like, okay, that they do the same thing that they do, but then there are so many like little niche things that
Yes.
are going on. And I agree with you, Robin. It has been a different conversation this year than I think it's been in years past, where it has been about, who is the real user here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are we targeting? And maybe it's just that the tech companies are getting a little bit more focused on their marketing and kind of thinking, who are they going after? That kind of thing, which is great. So, yeah,
Yeah, but those buyers are not here.
right.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That makes it tough.
And I think that becomes our, I don't know, certainly mine, like goal and mission sort of after we come to HR Tech every year is how can I, in the audiences I work with and the folks that I communicate with, how can I share
Yeah.
what we have the privilege of seeing and learning and touching and playing with? How do we get that out to not just HR leaders that can't come to this, because everybody they can't, right?
Yeah.
But the business leaders who are also making those decisions. And again, when you're an SMB, you may not even have an HR
No.
leader.
Right.
Certainly in the
And in the
co-advantage world, you
co-advantage,
don't.
they don't.
Right?
Yeah.
But you've got the CFO or you've got the CEO, so they need to be educated as well.
Yeah, I think that's when I was in round one, I was asking a lot of questions about what's your distribution strategy,
Yeah.
because I think the technology and innovation is one piece, but to your point, how do you actually amplify that and get that to those audiences that
Yes.
are maybe more diverse, more spread out? And so I think that is something else that we feel very strongly about, is how do we help advocate, even as a business that supports small businesses, to bring those solutions further into that market as well.
Yep.
Right. We're trying to make it easy for them.
Right.
Because they have to go run their restaurant,
Right.
their law firm, their architectural firm, and we have no expectation that they want to spend an awful lot of time inside of our technology.
Right.
So we have to make it really easy,
Yep.
accessible to them, fast, for them and their employees.
Yep.
So when you think about that, and you guys kind of just mentioned those small businesses that maybe don't have an HR team or don't have even an HR person. So what do you think about just the way that HR Tech is positioning themselves, and yourselves included in this conversation, to really be more credible, that HR can be more credible for the business leaders and for other folks that are outside of HR?
I think there's a few things. So I think there's been a lot more research lately and a lot more conversation around HR is actually a business impact driver, right? And I think like historically, a lot of people have thought of it as maybe
A
a little
cost
bit,
center.
or like fuzzier, right, in that way. And I think now with all of the data available, you actually are able to make direct correlations of what's the cost to the business if you make
Yep.
a wrong hire, what's the cost to your reputation if you aren't known as being a good culture fit or actually good to your people. So I think the conversation has shifted a little bit into more of one that's positive from an ROI standpoint. But I also think we are at an interesting point. We've raised AI as a solution. I also think it runs the risk of being a risk and a liability if people start to think they can just use free tools and sort of replace a true people strategy
Yes.
or replace an investment. So I think it's also incumbent upon us to talk about HR as a protector of the business, and you want to invest in it because it really does drive that much more than just we're hiring people, we're retaining people, we're firing people. It's the backbone of the business as it stands, right? And it can protect you from a lot of things from a liability standpoint. And I think that's how we have to think about it going forward.
And the AI should be, or whatever the solution is additive to HR, not replacing HR.
Right.
Right. And we have a number of HR folks that work with our clients directly, and we would not ever think that we would replace them with machine learning or AI or a website. It would never.
Robots.
It's
The
not,
robots.
It's not our model.
The robots are taking over, Mark, just so you know.
Absolutely not.
They can do some good things, but they can't do everything, right?
Right.
Absolutely. So this one is back to co-advantage. So if your product had a personality, so I want you to think about that. So just talking about robots, maybe I shouldn't be asked this question, but if your product had a personality, how would you describe it?
She's the marketing person. So
Oh,
I'm gonna-
no.
That's
I want
me.
the, I want
the guy
the,
that built the technology.
yeah, I want
should
the,
talk
yeah,
about this.
the technology person. Let's go. That's what you got, Mark.
If it was, what was it? Its personality.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be flexible. It'd be honest. It'd be self-aware. And sometimes it may think it's all-knowing, but it's not.
Okay,
There
I
you
like that.
You're going to be promoted and transferred over into
Yes.
the marketing department.
You have a
He's
new
hired.
marketing
He's hired.
specialist. Yes, you have a new marketing
No,
specialist.
that's a no. I'm gonna no. I like where I'm at.
Perfect. Caitlin, what you got? What do you think?
I agree with self-aware. I think we kind of know the space that we play in and know who we support, and it's important to us that we meet those needs. I think that we're listeners. So again, it's important for us to hear that direct feedback from our clients, from the SMBs, and really make our decisions accordingly. I would also say reliable, and I think that goes back to both the technology and the human component, right? Like, we are there. If something happens with your business, whether our technology has that for you, or someone needs to help kind of step in and give you more strategic insight, we're going to be there, and we'll be there whether it's Monday at 9 o'clock or if it happens to be, Saturday and something happens. Like, someone will be there looking out for you, and I think that's really important to us. We never want to get away from that feeling for them.
Awesome. Last one. Are you ready?
Oh, are we?
Yes. Tell me a moment or tell me a time when you looked at your technology, looked at what you all do, and
Yeah.
said, yes, this is why we do this work.
Oh. Well, that goes back years because we made a very conscious decision to build our own technology years ago to get off of packaged applications. We wanted to be in control of our destiny and not kind of a smaller fish in a bigger pond relative to the direction of a product. And to own that, you have to own your own technology to be able to do that. And so we went down a path starting in 2017 to then convert clients all the way off of our packaged applications mid of 2022. And so now we own our own destiny.
Awesome.
I have a little less tenure with it than Mark, so my example is a little more recent. But Mark's team has been working to convert all of our clients to a new version of Coad Quantum over the last year. And we've been really intentional about how we do that, right? We want to make sure that we're testing it with different segments of our clients as we move them on. And so we've done it in a way where each time we move a batch, we really reach out to them, have conversations. How is this working for you? And we're able to add to that roadmap, to Mark's point, and own that destiny on a real-time basis, where if we see someone is struggling maybe with a button placement, we're able to accommodate that as we go. And that's exciting. I think we've all worked places where maybe there's a little bit more timing that is needed for that. And being able to be very responsive, I think, has been very inspiring to me.
Awesome. Very cool. Well,
There's your bridge between your data and your humans.
yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
1,000%.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us here in the booth. This is Katie Van Horn,
Robin Schooling.
and thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, you're running the board now too,
Yeah,
Katie?
that's how I roll.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. Was that okay? I just
It
pressed a
was-
button.
It was good.
I just like
Thank
to
you.
press buttons and.
Was it good too?
All right. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes. All right. Do you want to move over here and then we can put iSalt?
Two. No, because the next people
One
are just
person.
one person.
It's just
so
one.
We'll
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
get a
It's,
chair out of here and we'll be good.
Which do you like the hot back or you like the low back?
I think I might like this better.
Utaki. Utaki.
Oh yeah. No, I think I like the other one better. Yeah. This was deceptively looked better. With
It'll look cushy.
Yep.
It'll look cushy.
Yeah.
You know? It is cushy, however.
Which microphone should I use? That one?
This one.
Okay. Hey.
Are you going to stay there and then
I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
Put it
I'm
in
going
the
to
middle.
come over there then. I'm
Oh.
going to come to you and have him come here.
Oh, okay.
Or no, let's switch chairs. Because I want you to sit next to me so they aren't having to look back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Make it easier.
Okay.
Yeah, make it easier for you. Yeah.
Hi. Outside.
And then, and we're recording them as well, so they'll be on the platform at some point. I don't know when. Ryan can answer that question better.
Let's not add a little pressure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. Yeah, be like, Ryan, I heard that they're going to be live by tonight. Yeah.
Or give us a date.
Katie said so. Yeah. Katie said so. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so that.
All right.
All right.
All right, so one of these is not gonna work, so what we'll do is, do you still need this?
No, that can go.
Do that?
Are we live?
Test, test, test.
So.
Test, test, test.
Put this on? All right.
You agree?
I'm live. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Test, test, test.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn one of them off, and we'll see if that's what.
Oh.
Test, test.
All right. Come up to the mic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, or bring it to you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's live.
We can hear him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we turn off the right one?
Yep.
He's still
You're
up
like
to do
a,
it.
I can't hear you.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I went down. There
Yeah,
we go. Yeah,
that's
that was
you.
that one.
Okay, let's turn that one off.
That's it. That's Robin.
Okay,
Hello. Hello.
that's you.
Test, test.
Test, test.
I'm gonna turn that one off, let's see.
Test, test.
That was, no, that one is him. So
Yep.
this one needs to stay down.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're good.
Can
1,
we-
2, 3.
Can we all hear each other?
Yes.
Fantastic.
So is anybody too loud in your ears?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how loud I should talk.
Yeah, you talk. I want you to scoot closer.
Get
yeah,
closer.
Yeah. Hug it. Hug the
Hug it.
mic as if
Hug
it's your
it.
best friend.
Oh my.
Then remember, this thing can go up.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Point it right at my nose.
Yes.
All right.
It's perfect.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I don't know where to put my feet.
I know. Mine are just dangling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
right.
chairs are not the
Yeah.
best chairs.
So I've got a.
Yeah.
And the knee space here is.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
not-
That's the awkward.
Yeah,
part.
I
All right.
was. Yeah, I was like straddling it earlier. That's why I'm like, I want to move it.